In this video, we're going to go over 10 different ways to support a loose outlet. And why is it important? Well, first of all that vibration over many years could cause loose connections on the wires. And when it comes to electricity, you don't want loose connections, because you know what happens? Loose connections lead to arcing, and arcing leads to fires. So let's fix it. Now, this often happens when the drywall person or the tile cutting person cuts the hole too big, and so now the edges or the yoke of the outlet do not catch on the drywall or the tile like they're supposed to. So now we need to add some support. And we might as well change the outlet while we're here. Also, let's switch to 2-inch 632 screws for this demonstration. Now, starting with number 10, we have box extenders, but they come in so many different sizes that when we're out in the field, we don't exactly know which one we need, so I don't like this one. And next we have number 9, washers. Now these washers were way too big, so I ended up going with something a little bit smaller. Now they do work, they're just really annoying to work with and there's so many pieces. But there's got to be a better way. I know, let's try some tubing for the fridge and ice maker. Now all you have to do is cut a little piece off, stick it in there, size it to fit, and cut off what you need. Slide it onto the screw, and that will stop it from going in too far. But this is not UL listed for electrical devices. So let's move on to number 7, plastic anchors, ribbed for her pleasure. Most electricians will find these in their van. And hey, it's made out of plastic, so that means it's easy to cut to fit. It opens up just like it would inside the wall. And now look, nice and hard. Like my Klein screwdriver, which you're going to need for number 6. Solid copper wire. All you need to do is cut off a piece of wire, and then take your Klein Phillips screwdriver, and because of how smooth it is, you can wrap it all the way around the Phillips shaft. And when you're done, it'll just slide right off. Now on the downside, it does take a few extra steps and time, but it's one way to make use of your scrap wire. Unless you're keeping it to recycle it. In which case there's probably another thing you have on you. Wire nuts. I mean, they are designed to last a long time, and most of us have 2 of them lying around. But be careful, they are a choking hazard. Dang, all this talk of food is making me hungry. And we're halfway through, so let's go take lunch. And while we're there, let's try something crazy and free. Fast food straws. Let me know in the comments if you can guess which restaurant this straw is from. Now this method was more just for fun, and I just wanted to see if it would work and how it would hold up. But to be honest, I really don't think plastic straws are designed to last very long. Please don't use this method. And next is number 3, screws and nuts. Now in theory, this method seems simple enough, right? You just screw the nut on and it'll hold the yoke of the outlet, and then your screw will go in how far you need it to go in. Well, that's not the case. It's actually very, very difficult, because you have to make sure the nut isn't tight all the way, just enough for you to screw it in and become tight as you make it land exactly perfect. It's basically expert level. Okay, moving on to my favorite, number 2, outlet spacers, also sometimes called caterpillars. And to make it easier to see in this video, I'm going to use the yellow one instead. Now these guys fold together and connect like Legos. And then once you have the length that you need, you just rip off the rest. Simple and easy. Not only are these the GOAT, but they're also UL listed, which just means it was engineered to do what it does, and a governing body approved it. Now this last trick is free dollars, and it's called bending the ears. So you see how when you screw it in, the hole is too big and the yoke or the metal is not catching the drywall? Well, you need to unscrew it just a little bit past the drywall and then grab your needle nose pliers, or sometimes I use my wire strippers, and just bend the ears back on both sides just the right amount. And hey, if you know another way besides these 10, let me know. But also, if you want to learn more about wiring 3-way and 4-way switches, check out this other video by clicking on it over here.